Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. That was a bit loud, wasn't it? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi Showbie with me, Richard Vobes, and you, the lovely listener, or watcher indeed. Another show, the 30th of April 2021. The lovely Julia is going to be joining me very soon on the show. She's getting the last-minute technology all sorted, which is fantastic. It's lovely to have you with us on the show. In fact, the lovely Julia is just this minute logged on, which is fantastic. She's just getting the camera focused, which is marvellous. Thank you for joining us on Friday, the last day of the month. 30 days has September, April, June and November. It's May the 1st tomorrow. Does that mean it's a bank holiday? What are we going to do on the bank holiday? We're going to do some DIY. Is that what you're going to do on the bank holiday? I'd love to know. If you're going to tackle that wall in the front room that you've always been meaning to strip the plaster off, if you're going to re-tile your roof and get the ladder out and meander carefully onto the top of your house, I want to know about it. If you're going to be digging up the garden, let's find out all about it. It's the bank holiday. It must be. May Day tomorrow, Saturday the 1st. Let's find out if the lovely Julia is going to be up to much on this weekend. Let's go live to see if she's there. And there she is. I need to put my headphones on. Hello, lovely Julia. How are you? And I've got to remember which... How do I get... I forgot how to... Where... Ah, is it you that puts yourself up? Hello.
Yes.
Yes, there we are. You see? Yes, you just thought you'd just trick me once again to make sure that because I was thinking, hang on, you're not here. Normally I have to put your fader up, but it's automatically up all the time. How are you?
Well, I've got to keep you on your toes as well, you know.
Yes, that's it. On my tootsie wootsies.
On your tootsies.
How the devil
and
are you?
Toesy woesies. Or your piggies.
On my piggies?
This little piggy went to market.
Oh, yes,
little
of course. Yes, that's right.
Stayed at home.
This little piggy. This pig had roast beef. And this little piggy had quiche. Anyway, so how are you doing?
Yes, not too bad, thank you. My mum popped over today, which was lovely.
And how is the lovely Helen?
She gave me these lovely flowers.
Oh, how nice. What did you get her? Big hug, big kiss. Grandchild.
Egg child. Here you go.
Hey, Mum. Nice to see you. Have that. See you in a week.
Well, if only.
If only.
No, just for the bank holiday weekend. So
Oh,
I'll be
I
going
see.
to pick him up on Monday.
Oh,
We'll
so
have a
you
barbecue in the
did get rid of
garden.
one of them, but not little Joe.
No, not the littlest one.
It was Elijah Piger.
Yes.
Oh, well,
Yes.
that's lovely, isn't it? It's nice for Elijah also to have that relationship with his grandmother.
Absolutely. He
Unfortunately,
really missed her.
yeah, well, I'm sure, especially after all this time as well. When I was a kid, when my children were children, I didn't dare spend too much time with my parents or my children with their grandparents. One was an alcoholic, which wouldn't have gone down very well. And my dad, now that's exposed which one was the alcoholic. But my dad, anytime I'd take the children over when they were small, when they were like Joe's size, up to about 5 or 6, he would always say, "Can you keep them outside? Don't bring them in the house." I said, "They're not animals, Dad. They're not animals. They're children. They are children." Yeah, but they run around, pick things up and abuse things. I said, "Yeah, but they're children, Dad. They're not animals. Can you just bring one?"
Heartbreaking, isn't it?
It's very sad. It's amusing now.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I'm very lucky to have parents that love to be involved with my kids.
yeah, that is so important, I think, and I need to get down to see my grandchildren.
Yeah.
And and not be the stranger to them. Trying to, but we've had a bit of a lockdown situation. Anyway, we'd have an audience out there, lovely.
We do have an audience. Hello, audience.
And I guess it's that time for the one and only the roll call. Are you
Yes.
Are you ready for it?
I am ready.
Ready. Here she goes. The roll call, ladies and gentlemen.
This evening we have a very big hello to the lovely Judith, the lovely Ernie Samat, the lovely Sean James Cameron, the lovely Colonel Cragratty, the lovely Station Master's Choice, the lovely Robert Brailsford, the lovely Daniel Watkins, the lovely Tall Podge Rog, the lovely, looking for new names, Alison O'Brien, the lovely Anna Jones, the lovely Zom Coco, the lovely Dave Evad, the lovely Kerry Baldwin. And we also have the lovely Paul Cockerell. We have the lovely Alan Sandell, the lovely Ralph Tomlinson. That's not a name I've seen before.
Oh, hello to Ralph.
Sorry if I have seen you and haven't noticed, but hello. Oh, he says, hello, everyone. Nice to be here. Nice to have you here. We also have the lovely, I think I said Sean James Cameron, but we'll say you again. He's worth a double mention.
Oh,
you all are.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
We also have the lovely Clive Waterfall, the lovely Sean Ford, the lovely Dougie Warbucks. So that's another name I've not seen before. The lovely Andrew Norris, Golden Throat himself. The lovely Justine Jones.
Golden Throat.
He has got a silken voice.
As long as it's not sunken, then that's all right.
No, it's not. We have the lovely, I spotted a name there. The lovely Ed Loud, the lovely Kate Evans, and she's still in hospital.
Oh, no.
Someone was asking which hospital you were in.
She might not want to say.
No, she might not want to say, and that's good.
Yeah.
It's probably best you don't. Where are we? We have any new ones? Oh yes, the lovely Ian Dance, the lovely Kathy B, the lovely Andy Stacey, the lovely Joe Merchant, the lovely Rich M, the lovely Lance the Frog, the lovely Welsh Wonder Jason Patrick, the lovely Linda Cadman, the lovely Albion 88 Ray 1, the lovely Philip Hammond, and I'm assuming Mary as well, and the lovely Robert Croser, the lovely Michael White, the lovely Amanda Fitchie. Yes, you are lovely too. The lovely Anne Wright. And she's in Cardiff Hospital. Probably shouldn't have said that. If anyone's nearby and has a couple of flowers spare in the garden that you could go and take for her to cheer her up, because she's been in there a long time, then do let her know. Have we got anyone else that I've missed? Fiona Cooper, the lovely Jared Mel. Let's put my teeth in. Let's try again. Merlick. I am so sorry if I've butchered your name, but there's only one brain cell in here. It does its best. The lovely Mark's Adventures, the lovely Tracy Murphy, the lovely Elfwald, and the lovely Ramaboo 2. I think, the lovely Dean Cooper, and the lovely Eastbourne couple. The lovely everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Vobes Show this evening.
There's a lot of lovely people out there, isn't there?
A lot of lovely people.
Oh, a lot of lovely ones. And it's nice to have all these lovies here. So as I said at the beginning of the show, it's is it the bank holiday? It's got to be, isn't it? May the 1st, 2nd, the 3rd?
Yes,
3rd,
it's
1st,
Monday.
This Monday would be Bank Holiday Monday. Of course, I don't know whether the Americans or other people in other parts of the world, shouldn't just say the Americans, but there are people in other parts of the world.
There's more to the world than here in England.
Do they have the same May Day? Because I guess in May in Australia, it's not spring, is it? It'll be winter down there. It's quite weird. I have to say, I never get my head round this, that if I went to Australia and you'd be heading towards winter, we're heading towards summer, of course, but down there, they're heading towards winter. May in winter just seems wrong. It
doesn't feel right, does it?
You almost feel that they want to turn their calendar the other way round, so that it's when it's May in when it's spring in Australia, they then call it May, because we could all understand that, although we'd probably be in autumn or something.
It does mess with the head a little bit.
Yeah.
But I grew up, as you know, I grew up in Saudi Arabia for 5.5 years. I don't tell you often enough, do I?
No, tell me more.
But I didn't really have a concept of the seasons for the first 5 years of my young life.
Do they have any seasons at all in Saudi Arabia?
Well, there's a slight difference between winter and summer.
They don't get snow,
brighter.
I guess.
It is brighter and warmer in summer, but you know, that's about it.
They don't get any snow at all.
Palm trees, sand, camels.
Nothing changes.
Yeah.
Do they have I suppose they don't have a Father Christmas, do they? Not in their religion,
No.
is it?
No.
No. Can't imagine Father Christmas and Rudolph the red-nosed camel humping along his way to send all these lovely children.
I was just picturing that.
Yeah, so unusual thought. So yeah, we have a bank holiday coming. In fact, we have 2 in May. Why do we have 2 in May? I know we had May because it's
one
May
at the
Day.
beginning and one at the end.
Yeah,
don't
but
we?
why the one at the end?
It's not
Now, somebody-
Queen's official birthday, is it?
Somebody will no. I think
can't
it's more
remember
that
when that is.
somebody very clever and intelligent, and I should know this because I'm into this sort of traditions and things like that. But I don't. I'm as ignorant as an ant walking on a dry piece of chalk, and I can tell you that ant is very ignorant. Whitsun. Is it Whitsun? What, the end of the spring bank holiday at the end? Oh, I see. Spring bank holiday at the end. Which one is the one at the front then? Is it Whitsun, the one at the front? Don't just put one word. That doesn't help us.
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't just one word does
End
not
of
help.
May. Oh, apparently I did not see Lord Geoffrey Harrison enter the room. Hello, lovely.
You
Lord
don't have
Harrison.
to doff your cap to Lord Geoffrey Harrison. He sneaked in right at the end there, and
I'd
then
have to get my hat first.
Exactly. He comes in here, and you have to be careful because he might ring. And heaven forbid we don't. I should hide the screen. Oh, what's she up to? Oh, there she's gone. She's gone. Never mind. That gives me a chance to sort of hog the screen for a second. Oh no, wait a minute. There she is. Look at that. It's a lovely hat. Isn't that nice?
Doffed.
Oh, yeah, you've ruined it now. Oh, well, never mind. That's marvellous. So, yeah, so what are we saying? Rush barring up here Mayday. What the hell does that mean? Rush barring up here Mayday.
Rush bearing up here Mayday.
Is that code? Perhaps that's code. Robert Croce is on the I can't be bothered to type any more words than absolutely necessary sort of. Maybe that's Mayday. Mayday. What's the Morse code? Isn't that Mayday?
No. Dit da da dit, isn't it?
Is it?
I think so.
Da dit da dit da. Something like that.
Da.
Da 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 dee 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 dee. Is that not it? No. I believe if you think of the theme to Morse, the TV series, they used Morse code in the musical interlude. Watch that. You know the TV series with what's his name? Who's now yeah, he's now dead. He was in the the 70s series, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I can't even remember that. What's the matter with me?
I can't think of the theme song.
No.
I'll have to listen to it later.
Purple Hat, says Station Master's Choice. Absolutely fantastic. The one at the end used to be Whitsun, says Colonel Cragratty. What is it now then? And David Vad's calling it Beltane. That sounds like the name of a ship. I forgive you all, says Lord Geoffrey. He's
for missing him out of the roll call.
Oh, that's very kind of him. Whitsun was originally the May holiday, and then they added May Day. I thought May Day... I thought May Day was... Stop it. Was when they went round the flagpole, the maypole. Is that what they do when the little kids, the urchins, get tied up and then abused by the elders? No, that's a different thing.
The folky singing group I've just started going and visiting, they're doing a May Day tomorrow.
Ah, right. So that's so their May Day is at the beginning. I'm glad we got that sorted, by the way. It's very important. So most people will be heading, no doubt, to the do-it-yourself shops. And be buying all those things and then mucking up their houses in a horrible way, and then they'll have to get a professional in. Something like that.
Robert Croser says they lay rushes in local churches up here to replace the old ones that used to be on the old clay floors. If I can not mumble my words.
They lay those rushes. Yeah, all right. What? So they replace the rushes from a whole year. What if they haven't got any rushes? If you don't live near a river or a stream that has rushes, I suppose you have to import them, do you? Mark Burgess is going to be doing some fertility dancing. Well, we want a video of that, Mark. We want to share that. I don't know what fertility dancing really is. How do you show you're fertile? Is that where you do that shaking your ass? There she goes, shaking your ass. However it goes. Is that the?
I see you, baby.
Yeah. Is that the one? Is that fertility dancing?
No.
Wasn't there a film? There was a film with Patrick Swayze. Didn't he do fertility dancing?
That's Dirty Dancing.
Oh, isn't that the same thing?
Classic. No, not quite.
Oh, right. So what? I mean, fertility. That means you're fertile, doesn't it? It means it's your time of the month.
Well, spring, is the fertile time, isn't it?
Right. Oh, okay.
Hence, we've just had Easter.
Reagan and Carter. Yeah, there we go. The Sweeney. That was what I was thinking of. The Sweeney. You know the theme to the Sweeney, don't you? Da-da-nan, da-da-nan, bum, bum, ba-da-da-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Anyway, that was 1970 something or other. The Sweeney, yeah. Reagan and Carter, that's right, with not Patrick Swayze. I can't remember the thing. Andrew Norris says you can see it in The Wicker Man. Never seen The Wicker Man. We used to have it when I was a kid. We had a wicker chair. Awful thing. It used to crumble. It's like these wicker baskets. They get ever so stiff. Don't they? Brittle. And then you get spiked. And I remember this bloody wicker chair. So when I heard about this film called The Wicker Man, never quite understood what it was about this giant figure of a man who gets set on fire or something. I just thought, that's not for me.
I still haven't seen that.
Have you not seen it?
No.
And is that about fertility? Is it The Wicker Man?
It's...
Do you know what? We show our ignorance.
I can't really explain it because I kind of have a vague idea of what it's about.
We show our ignorance in this live show really well, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, what this show is about is us revealing just how thick we really are. And it just goes to show anyone can do this.
It kind of shows how far we've separated from
I think
we used to do.
And I think you're right.
It's ancient traditions, basically.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think that's absolutely true. And it's a shame because this stuff is not being taught to kids. It's only people of a certain age who really refer to these things or people who've done degrees in history. And because I haven't done those degrees in history. Whipsnade is a zoo, isn't it? Oh, wait a minute. Whipsnade has been replaced by the Spring Bank, says Ralph Thompson. Whitsuntide, not Whipsnade. I was thinking of the zoo then, the Whipsnade Zoo. Where if you go in there, don't go with any snades because they'll whip them. They'll whip them straight off you.
Leave your snade at home.
Leave your snade. Tall Podge Rog says, I have a DVD of The Wicker Man. It flew out on the Sunday paper years ago when they were including DVDs for some reason. Blimey, it flew out, did it? Is it about flying then? The original Wicker Man was that... Hang on, we've got a phone call. Let's find out who that is. It's probably HM.
Oh, no, I won't be able to hear them.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hello, caller.
Hello, young Richard.
Hello, young person.
It's Ray here, the Phantom keyboard player.
Ah, Ray, the Phantom keyboard player. Unfortunately, Georgia, I nearly called her then. Julia can't hear you, but I can. I can relay your words telepathically.
Right.
So, how are you, Ray, the Phantom?
I'm very well, thank you. Enjoying the cold Friday. I just phoned to say May Day was originally a very left-wing sort of Labour Day thing. That's why the Russians celebrate the May Day parade. It's very much a red thing, and nowadays, even now in England, very, very few private schools celebrate or have the day off on May Day because it's not considered to be a holiday for the if you like the higher echelons of society.
Oh, right. A bit like St. George's Day is not, that's, the extreme right now is to have St. George's Day. That's not deemed good enough.
Absolutely. But the May Day is much more on the left-hand side. So it was only relatively recently, probably in the last 30 years, that May Day became a bank holiday in this country.
So why do they dance around the maypole on the May Day?
Well, that's very pagan, isn't it? That goes right back into the deep and dark echelons of history.
So the Russians nicked a pagan celebration and called it May Day?
Well, they may have done. I don't think it was based on religion from the Russians' point of view. It's something for the workers, as it were. Right. Very much the proletariat, as they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's certainly not been a bank holiday in the traditions of religion in that sense.
Right.
Whereas
so
most other bank holidays are.
Yes.
Religious, like Whitsun is a religious holiday, as of course is Christmas Day and so on. Even New Year's Day wasn't a bank holiday in England until relatively recently. It was in Scotland much earlier, but not in England, because that's not a religious holiday, New Year.
No.
But Christmas, of course, Easter is.
Yes.
Christmas.
Yes, because of the religious connotations.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, that was all I called for. I don't want a long conversation.
No, please don't have a long conversation. Because we charge £3.50 for the phone call, so you don't want to be on here for any length of time.
You're most welcome to the £3.50.
Oh, marvellous! I look forward to it being repaid. Thank you so much for putting us straight on that one.
That's all right. That was just my little
Friday
input for the evening.
Friday, it is Friday, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, you should have a video from me.
Yeah, I've got here a music for Friday. I forgot about that. I'm going to. I'm just downloading it now because
okay.
It's because it doesn't come in on WeTransfer. You see, I just download these and then people send me videos directly, and of course I don't see them because I purposely look out for the WeTransfer. But now you've reminded me, I have got it here.
Yes, I sent it a few days ago.
Yeah, I know, and I kept thinking, I must remember this, and then on the day. Right. I don't remember it because I save all the WeTransfers because they're easy to recognise. But I've got it now. But thank you for reminding me.
Okay. All right. Well, I love you and leave you. Thank you very much for the call.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you. Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
There we are. So, I don't know. You didn't hear any of that, did you, Julia? Can you hear me now?
No, I didn't hear any of that. Sorry, you were waiting for me because I was listening to the YouTube.
Oh, sorry. So Ray says that basically it was a Russian thing that it was given to the workers as a day off, a proletariat day, so that May the 1st, because they didn't get a day, and so that's really how it came about. And
the May Day and the Bank Holiday are two basically separate things, but they just happen to be on the same day.
Yeah, so
the May Day celebrations is quite an ancient thing.
So that's
maybe not ancient.
So that's as Ray said, it's probably a pagan thing, isn't it? Dancing around the maypole.
That's right. Yeah.
So there we are. We do uncover these secrets here that nobody knows anything about. Well, we don't know anything about. So luckily,
blind leading the blind here.
Yeah,
except when we have a caller who knows what they're talking about.
Exactly. Now, Friday night is music night, so maybe we should break this little moment of this frisson, and I don't know what a frisson is, but we will
watch a video.
Yeah, watch a video, and it's Raymond, our mystical, the fingers of. playing on his marvellous organ. It's not an organ. It's not an organ. It's not that kind of...
It's a keyboard.
It's a family show, this. He doesn't play with his organ. It's a keyboard. And now I've got to do this. And little Julia's in the side now again. Because I hadn't prepped up the show, because I'd forgotten this had come in on an email. By the way, if people can, please send them via WeTransfer. When it comes to me, just to explain this, when the videos come to me, A, it doesn't clog up my email box. And B, it says you've got a video from WeTransfer. And so what I tend to do is I just put them in a folder for the Vobe show. And then on about an hour before the show goes live, I download them all. And then I can load them all up. If they go by email, sometimes people do send them to me by email directly. And I go, oh, yeah, I must remember that then. And, of course, they don't go in the same folder because they're not a WeTransfer, you see. I know it sounds complicated, but it's just easier. Thank you. But you know, if it's a problem, then let me know, and I'll try and get the old brain cogs to do it. So because I haven't programmed this in, it's not going to be quite as slick as normal. I will shove the video in a special complicated manner, which goes something like this.
Good evening, Vobes. Now, I'm going to try and play Conquest of Paradise by Evangelis, which was asked for last Friday by Mark Donny McLeod. Movie theme with orchestral backing. I thought I'd try and show you how it's sort of put together. Now, we can start off with the choral backing, which is a choir soundtrack. Sounds something like this. Now, the melody, this is just on the piano side, sounds like this. But to give it more depth, we've got to add something to it. So these are the sounds which we on this machine. They live with me. I'm just a very, very amateur player. This machine is fantastic. So what we can add is the choral sounds. This is a male sort of choir sound. That's the first level. Second level is like a boys' choir to add to it, a bit more higher tone. It's very high, of course. And at the end, some strings. The magic is you put it all together and you get this sort of sound. So let's try and put all this together and play the melody with the backing. I'm going to play the chords. So let's see how we go. We'll start off. Thank you all.
There you go. How about that? There they are, the magic fingers there of the incredible Raymond playing on the organ, the keyboard there. And I tell you what, hang on a minute, just get back into the normal mode. I was just thinking as he was playing that, I was thinking, do you know, I guess I get my music from a production library, which I pay so it can go on YouTube. And they have an amazing a number of different tunes that you can select, and you select the genre that you might be interested in. And often the genre really has nothing to do with it. It's just what, works out for the videos. And I just think a lot of them must have a bit of kit like he's got, shove in a bit of backing music, little twiddle up here, and you could play for hours just creating this production themey music for backgrounds of videos and things. Absolutely incredible. What did you think, Julia?
That was marvellous. Always like hearing him play.
Yeah, that was marvellous. We always like hearing you play. Very, very cinematic.
Yeah.
Right, thank you for the in-depth analysis there from the
Woman of
lovely
many words tonight.
Yes. Yes. So what did you think? Yeah, it was nice. Great. Well, there we are. Marvellous. Thank you, Ray. All that effort, and it was lovely. Thank you for playing that for us. You've got a lot of thumbs up and claps in the chat room. Any interesting comments coming up there? A lot of fallacy type thing going up there.
Oh, they were talking about the maypole.
Oh,
as
right.
Well, I think near the beginning of the video.
Yeah. Why is it that anything that is in a long shape that everybody says, oh, that's a phallus, or it's phallic? I mean, it might not be. A garden fork has a long bit on it. Doesn't mean to say that just because you can fork around in the garden that you could do something else with it. I'm just putting that out there.
Budum-tish.
Budum-tish, ladies and gentlemen.
Not quite budum-tish, but I'll put one in anyway.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you did. So there we go. Now, that's all good. Now, Julia, talking about gardening and forks and things that grow in the ground, I gather that you've been out and about in your locality looking for something interesting.
I have. I popped out this evening with Joseph. We went to the little park nearby, and then we went to have a little look and explore the tiny forest that's been planted near our house.
A tiny forest. You better explain what that
Yes.
means. A tiny one.
Well,
Is it like miniature? Is it like in a in a little tray like this? Like
No, it's
bonsai.
It's lots of native species of tree planted in a small place, in a small spot where they all kind of grow at the same level. It's just more of an educational thing than of any significant ecological value, but although it still does have some ecological value.
So this is in a local park, and you've got a video. We're going to play that in a second. This isn't a one-off. This is a thing that's national, isn't it?
Yes, I mean the concept began in Japan, I believe.
Where they don't
small
have a lot of
islands,
space, I suppose.
Yeah. So and it's just spread worldwide. And I can't remember who funded the ones that are going on in the UK at the moment, but we were lucky enough to have one here in Lancing.
So it's interesting because it's called a tiny forest.
It is called
right?
a tiny forest.
And of course, forest is an odd word because everybody thinks it just means trees. And of course, forest it's a French word, or it comes from a French word, and it doesn't mean just trees. It means heathland, trees. It's a whole
heathland, woodlands, and marshes, and
exactly.
All sorts of things.
So it's really a miniature wood, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or a miniature, not with miniature trees.
Although you could argue because it's got a small barked area, bark chippings on it. So that's not.
So maybe it is a tiny forest then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. That's fantastic. So shall we go and have a look at your video?
Yeah, go on then. Let's have a look.
Then we might get a good idea because I've heard you've told me about it, but I'd never heard of it. I've never seen it, so I'm fascinated to take a look. And this isn't
That's
it.
not my tiny forest.
No, that was just a keyboard. Keyboard with different. They were ivories, although they're probably plastics in actual fact. but nothing to do
Yeah,
with
but the ebony bits, they're still not ebony.
No, exactly. Right, where are we? Let's have a look. Here she is.
Hello. Don't know how well this is going to go with Jojo on my back, but I'm here at, well, they're calling it East Lancing Recreation Ground. I've known it as Orient Road Recreation Ground. But they've put in a tiny forest here next to the allotments. I thought I'd just show it off for a moment. Stay still, Joe. It's got this barky area at the front, semicircular shape. The whole thing is semicircular shaped. There's a lovely gate over there. He's not holding on. I can't really walk with him. Not holding on. But I just thought I'd show you off. I don't know what other species are in there, but I've seen gorse, which is flowering already and looks lovely. And I've seen holly, lots of little holly in there, and many different broadleaves. So I hope it's fairly many. But yeah, it's going to be lovely. But we need a lot more of these to make up for all the trees that have been chopped down over recent years, particularly these last couple of years. But just a quick one. Yeah, I can turn around enough. Just over there, behind my right shoulder, although this might be reversed as its selfie image. I can't remember. But over there, you've got a line of an old part of hedgerow, I think. Go sit down, let him loose. It's over there. Unfortunately, I can't flip the camera around. I've tried. It doesn't work when I'm filming. But there are elder trees and hawthorns, like elder hawthorn. It's really lovely. And then right at the at this end here, you've got these brambles hanging down like vines. It looks like in there's a bit of a den where some of the local kids maybe go and play. It's cute. Let's go and have a look at the gate quickly. It's a very nice looking gate. Very smooth. Yes. You have a couple of like steps in there, places you can step in there. Lost eyes on the boy. Oh yeah, I see him, but here's again, I don't know if it comes out reversed. I don't know if I can reverse it round. But it sits quite nicely in this corner of the recreation ground. This opposite corner I was at before, one big semicircular fence line around it. It's lovely, very nice. Then we have the allotments over there. Very nice. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Take care, guys. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. There we are, the lovely Julia. That was brilliant. Thank you, Julia. And now I got a clearer idea of what you mean by a tiny forest. Because how long has that been there? Because they look like they've only just been planted in there.
I think it was about 2 months ago they were planted, coming up for 2 months. I wasn't there to see it all happening, but on the residence page for this estate, several people were posting on, through the few days that they took to plant them. So that was nice to see.
So did everybody get involved in that, or was it a professional
No.
company
Some workmen come
in and just
dug
shoved
the
them in?
area, prepped it, put them in,
Right.
put the fencing around it, the gate and the sign, and and then laid the bark down, put straw on over the roots, and it looks like they've been, or someone's been back and put some manure on each of the bases of the plants.
Right.
But I did notice today that some of them have been, intentionally snapped, and some of them have been possibly accidentally kicked over. And I did have a go at kind of the ones that I could salvage, try and wedge them up again.
So the gate is open that you can go in, can you?
Yeah, it's unlocked, but it's because it is a dog walking space, that recreation ground. It's very multi-purpose, because there's actually football, practice fields and the little play park and some exercise, those outdoorsy exercise, adult equipment. And
so what I mean is that
thing.
it's fenced off at the moment whilst they're growing, but anybody can walk in there.
Yes, anybody can walk in there.
So vandals
I'm not sure
can
if it's
go
gonna
in
stay.
Right, so vandals
Absolutely, they
can go in and just snap, and so it's not really terribly well protected at this early stage.
Unfortunately.
or a ball could go flying over the fence, and then
Yeah.
knock a few, and then the kids run in to get the ball and just tread over the. But what do you do? What do you do?
There is no real way of protecting them apart from educating people. And
We'll see
the
how that
fact that
goes.
yeah, well, the fact that these places are here, starting to appear now, and of course, since the pandemic began, more people have gotten out and about, and so, although lots of children have had a lot less social interaction, or even just being able to be among and watch other people and learn all these subtle things that they learn in that way, they've still had some experience of the natural world in this way. It's a small snippet, but it's a start.
Maybe if they would have put a sign up saying these are COVID plants or something, it's
No,
the
they'd
vaccine.
be even
It's
more
the
likely to mess with
vaccine.
them.
It's the vaccine. Plants that provide the vaccine. Then people perhaps would leave them alone. The vandals and things, or if you touch them, you would die. We have a marksman because
If you touch these plants, you're a loser.
you're a loser.
I don't mind being a
I
loser.
don't know
I'll
how
go
you could if you could make plants and things cool with the kids, then they'll respect them. But unfortunately, if you fence something off like that, you just automatically the kids will go, oh, we're not supposed to be in there, so we'll go in. Whereas I reckon if it was just a corner of field and they just planted the stuff and just put in a few brambles as well, probably no one would even bother with them.
Perhaps.
Hence why the bramble area isn't really abused very much. Although you said in that
there was
area,
a lot of rubbish under there.
yeah, it's interesting. What are people saying, lovely Julia?
We have. Linda Kane is asking, are they being watered? I don't know, but I think that some people from the allotment have kind of taken it under their wing a bit. I think that it's them that have laid the manure down. So I imagine that they will be looked after. In worst case scenario, I'll be going down there with a couple of buckets or watering cans full of water if it gets to that point. But I'm sure that people who live closer are going to tend to them, because it's a lovely little community here. They do tend to look out for things like that, especially when it's of such benefit.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's good. No, what an interesting project, and how great that you could look across and actually identify some of the young saplings there.
Yeah. Yes. There was. In the video I called it gorse, but I think it's actually a furze. The spiky looking plant with the yellow flowers.
Yeah, that's gorse.
That is gorse.
Yeah, furze is the old-fashioned name for it.
Oh, so it's the same thing.
It's pretty much the same thing. Unless it's not gorse, but it's the other one. Which has now gone out of my head. Which you also see around, depending on the soil. You see a lot of it up in Shropshire. You see it. It's not gorse, but it's one of the clever people like Linda Kane will say what it is. It looks like gorse, but it's not gorse.
Something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Of course it is, says Michael White.
Gorse it is. There you go. Only had 10% average rainfall, says Audrey Forbes, this year. We've had a fantastic April, and not unless you're a grower, I guess. It's been broom. Yeah, that's what it is. Broom. That's like gorse, but it isn't gorse. It's the way it comes off the stem is different. Not witch hazel, no. But broom.
I think there was some hazel in that tiny forest.
Oh, was it?
There
Okay.
was hazel. I think there was some beech. I think there was. I think, because it's hard to tell at the moment, because I haven't seen these trees as babies yet. Before. Knowingly and identifiably. There's holly. I could definitely identify that one.
Yep.
Oh gosh, but yeah, there's at least 3 or 4 different others that I couldn't really identify. So I'll try and do some more videos, and maybe some viewers can identify them for me.
I've just seen something remarkable now. David Keel says that there were hailstones in Bognor and snow in Slindon Woods, which is not too far from us here towards Arundel Way, or the other side of
If I
Arundel.
remember rightly, from the reading show that you did this afternoon, Audrey Forbes Hamilton had mentioned that they'd had snow this morning.
Good God.
Snow in April.
Good God, there we go. Scotch broom is what I know it as. Yeah, Scotch broom. There you go. Went climbing in Southampton today. No rain. Was inside, says Colonel Craig Ratty. Well, there you are.
Was that at Cowshot?
Was that at Cowshot?
I've done climbing in there.
Yeah,
And I've done a bit of dry
I've been on
ski
that
slope
range. You get a crossbow and you look for the cows as they come past, and hawthorn needs to blossom soon. Then things can warm up a bit, says Station Master's Choice.
Yes,
That would be nice.
A lot of hawthorn still hasn't finished pushing out the leaves yet.
Yeah, it's it seems a bit late, doesn't it? It's a snow joke. Right, time for a...
Well, actually,
yes,
just quickly,
yes,
I'm sure
quick.
I heard that this month has been the frostiest April we've had in 60 years or something.
Oh, right. So we've had a combination of nice sun and very cold mornings.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had snow a
Crazy.
few weeks back, says Mark's Adventures. Where are you based again, Mark? Because down in the south we had flurries, but nothing.
Isn't he in Lancashire?
Oh, yeah,
Or am
could be.
I
Could be.
completely out?
I think you look like you're in.
I'm in the box.
You're in the box. Right, time for another video, ladies and gentlemen. Dave Ivad has gone mad and sent us a video, which is absolutely fantastic. It's what everybody should do, of course. And send it to richard@vobes.com via WeTransfer.com. WeTransfer.com for free.
It's easy. If I can do it, you can do it.
Exactly. So he's sent us in some ducks. I don't know whether these are mallard or just very annoyed.
Oh, we're going to do it.
Well, I have to say that was absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for sending that in. And how lovely there to hear the sounds of quintessential English people chatting away as they feed the ducks. And interesting there, how many different aquatic animals, not aquatic, they were going quack, quack, quactic a lot.
Aquactic.
Aquactic, yeah. What was that? Was that a Canadian geese, that big fat waddly one?
It certainly did look like a Canadian goose.
And there were mallard and the mallard's mate. Is they still drakes? Mallard?
Yeah.
Drakes
and
pigeons.
No.
Pevsner?
Oh yeah, and there was pigeons there.
Pigeons. And
I'm not sure if there was two different types of mallard there or types of duck there, but yeah.
oh,
I don't know.
lovely to see them. And the pigeons all getting on so well, says Andrew. No, lovely to see them all getting on well. There we are. And
Typical. The butcher says 3-bird roast.
lovely. And Michael White says, are they quarantining because they've come from Canada? There's a £5,000 fine. Yeah, because we don't want them bringing avian flu over. Thank you very much. None of that nonsense. And Red Moon Conjure saw a coot.
Aha.
Yeah. Was it
Yes,
bald?
I recall.
Was it bald? Bald as a coot? I don't know why they say that. Why do they say bald as a coot? Because a coot isn't necessarily bald, is it? Any more
No,
than...
just, they have the white patch on their head, isn't it? Because they're black with a white patch, aren't they?
Are they?
Might be something to do with that.
Yeah. It could be
The
right.
red ones are the moorhens, aren't they?
Yeah. I'm just saying, yeah.
Muddled up again.
Yeah. Mark's Adventures says, more a commune of ladies who prefer to flatter the shoe. Okay, go along with that. We get thousands of Canadian geese on the Solway in January. Is that the Solway Firth? Is that what he's talking about? Or is it the Solway Fifth? Yeah, so there we are. Mr. and Mrs. just got hurt, Mr. for fighting, says Rami Boo. Anyway, lovely to see all those wonderful ducks. They were fantastic. Thank you very much, Dave, for sending those in. Where was it? What part of the world was that? That would be interesting to know. Anyway, that was lovely. Lovely. Coots in St. James's Park, says Alan Sandell. And the Veg Grower podcast. Hello, Veggie. Mr. Suggett, he popped round earlier to mend my fridge and have a cup of coffee. We had avian flu over winter. Chickens were not allowed out. Oh, there we are.
Poor girls were on quarantine. Oh, bless.
Yeah, they had to stay in with the quails. Have you still got quails, Richard? Have you still got those? Because I know they're not allowed out, are they? Because they're
not native.
They're not native.
So you've got to be careful not to let them escape.
You are correct.
I'm sure that's what he said.
You are correct, Julia, about the coot, the white patch on the head. The red is the moorhen. There we go.
Could you do me a favour?
Yeah.
No, because no one's been there to refill the little tray for the bubble liquid. So.
Oh yeah, no, it's as dry as.
I was going to say, could you please just? I was reaching for my bubbles. I'm like, what? No.
It's as dry as Mother Teresa's flip-flop, I'm afraid, that one. It's a pain for you, Richard, getting parts of the conversation, says Mark. Well, I don't always know what it's. I just go and read the first thing I see and assume it's going to be interesting and entertaining. It's not my fault if it's not interesting and entertaining. I didn't write the script.
Out of context.
Of context. It makes it interesting, doesn't it? Exploring Suggy says, yes, we still have squails, which is good. And the Reggio podcast also has squails with a lot of eggs. Marvellous. And I think Richard, if I remember
is that
right...
Richard on 2 accounts, or is that Amanda on the other one?
I can't remember. I mean, I don't... I couldn't tell you. He gave me some squails, Mr. Squails. He gave me some... Quail eggs sometime. I couldn't really see the point of them because they're you don't get a full egg. I mean, when you make an omelette, I like a good 3 eggs in an omelette. 3-egg omelette man I am. You'd have to put like 14 of these things in.
Mr. Suggett. Maybe. I was right. It's Amanda on Exploring with Suggett. Hello, darling. Sending lots of
Hello,
huggles.
darling.
Missing you guys lots. I was so pleased to hear that Richard went and visited Richard today. So but it's good to have you here. Yay!
It is very nice. It's nice to to welcome in a tradesperson who was fixing my fridge before anybody complains that we're not allowed to have people in our houses. By the way,
right.
Just so you know, we conversed in the garden. As Richard was fixing the fridge, I was in the garden. Well, I was actually in the garden getting logs to put into the Essie. So.
I just remembered the question I was going to have for Mr. Suggett.
Oh yeah, what is the question?
That is the quail eggs versus the hen's eggs. Is it with the size difference? Is it similar to there's the normal average strawberries which are like this, and then the alpine strawberries. The alpine strawberries seem to have the same amount of flavour in the large strawberries, just compacted, so it's a much more intense flavour because it's all Is it similar with the quail eggs? Is it much more intensive flavour? Just curious.
Yeah, give us a call, 0793 4746790. If you want to give us a call, you can do that now. We've had a slight break in the videos, like that. Give us a ring, 079707. It's on the screen. I should be able to ring it. Hang on, Julia will give us it.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's our number, so call us maybe.
0793 4746790. Call us today.
Today, call us.
Yes, I've got to get
Yes,
reverb
now.
on your channel. I can't put reverb on your channel, but when I move the studio upstairs, I'm going to rewire all of this and put in my effects unit. We have a call calling to the show. Let's find out who it is. Hello, caller. Welcome along.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Suggett. Now, I don't know if Julia can hear you.
Probably not.
No, probably not. This some confusion. Just I can hear you, Julia. You don't have to do sign language to me. She's going, I will listen on YouTube.
Well, there'll be a slight delay with that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That is true. Mr. Suggett, quail's eggs. I remember you gave me the quail's eggs, and if I remember, it is a more intense flavour, but you don't get much of it.
That is probably, the best way to describe it. More intense flavour or more richer flavour, I think.
And much more orange, weren't they? They're much the yolk, I guess, because they're real eggs as opposed to factory farm eggs.
Yes, there's more yolk in them. I mean, you wouldn't if you fry them. You'd need one of those tiny little pans that are novelty to fill it up, sort of thing. They're so small. And you're right, they are a bit pointless if you're using them in that way. But what I like to use quail eggs for is making Scotch eggs because they're perfect size for that.
Oh, Scotch eggs.
Yeah, wrap them in sausage meat, wrap them in breadcrumbs, and off you go.
That's very interesting. Oh, I have to try that. So you boil them up, wrap them in the meat, cover them in breadcrumbs. Bob's your uncle, and some sort of salt and peppery. What do you call that?
Seasoning.
Seasoning. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh, if you wouldn't know the trials and tribulations of doing a live show. It's so difficult when you're doing it live. And wait a minute, you do your own live show, the Veg Grower Podcast. We should plug it. Sunday nights at 6:00 on the Veg Grower Podcast YouTube channel. Check it out. It's fab.
Yeah, on YouTube and Facebook every Sunday at 6 from my podding shed.
From your podding shed.
And sometimes Amanda joins me, sometimes she doesn't.
And it's looking cool. Your shed now is looking cool because I had a quick check online before, actually, because we'd been chatting and I thought, let's have a look and see what he's up to. And you've got lots of tools in the background now and lots of lights and things.
Yes, it's. I've got to have a tidy up, in all honesty. I've got to empty it all back out because I'm not happy with one of the walls, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, it's tools in the background. I've got Alexa-controlled lights and other little features in the pipeline that should make it a bit more entertaining.
Ah, superb. There's some questions there. Julia's been looking at the whatever you call it, the chat room, and has seen that there's some questions, I think.
Do you hatch any eggs, says Jen Colley?
Yes, I do. I've got to
do?
start doing that this year. Yeah. You've got to make sure you've got male and female quails, but obviously, collect some eggs, pop them in a incubator for, how long is it? 3 weeks, if I remember right. Oh yeah, but it takes about 3 weeks for them to hatch.
Does it? It's not long, is it? So they go from. How do they? Here's a question. How are they fertilised? Are they fertilised before they come out as eggs? Presumably.
I presume so, yeah. I've not really looked into it.
Because you don't see the male, whatever you call it, the male, what, is it a cock? Am I allowed to say that on children's television?
Yes, a male cock.
You don't see him waggle his phallus thing over the egg as if it's like a magic wand and go, by the power of Greystoke, I give you life. Life, I tell you, life.
Yeah, echo there.
Bit of reverb there for you.
A bit of reverb. No, I assume it's all done in man to woman way.
Oh, man's woman way. It gets when nobody's looking. The feathers
nobody's
get
looking.
tangled. Here, do you fancy a bit? Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Not again. Not tonight, Josephine. Not tonight, Josephine. My
Yeah, there's a
name.
bit of courting going on.
Oh, right.
Courting.
Bit of caught in. Yeah, well, they're caught in a cage, aren't they?
They are, yes. As
Yeah.
I think Julia said earlier, it's actually illegal to release them, so
Yeah.
they've got to stay in a cage.
I imagine at night you hear them crooning, don't you? Please release me, let me go.
Well, oddly enough, if I walk up there, what they would do is use their beak and wipe it against the cage, as if you know in the films when the prisoner would take their mug and
Oh,
run it across the
right.
bars.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Is it?
Yeah. It sounds just like that as well.
Fantastic. There we are. How brilliant is that? That is amazing. More questions from the lovely Julia coming in. I throw these spanners at her and she goes, oh, right, I better look. She needs to turn the sound on. We can't hear you.
No, I can't hear her. I can't hear her.
Gosh darn. Paul
I can hear it
Cockerell
now.
says,
It's always
"Who takes-
funny when when she forgets to unmute herself. Sorry, Julia.
Who takes care of the birds after they've hatched out? Says Paul
They
Cockerell.
they pretty much naturally take care of themselves to a certain extent. I've got to keep them warm and keep them away from drafts, but just add some water and some food, and they find their own way.
So the mums and dads, they don't sort of look after them, or they don't peck them to death, or they don't eat them, or anything like that, do they?
No, unfortunately, quails, specifically Japanese quails, they've had that instinct bred out of them over the years.
When you
Because
say
they
unfortunately, you mean they would have done that?
they would have done many years ago.
Oh, sorry. You mean they would have looked after them?
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
I thought you meant, if, unfortunately, that it's been bred out of them that they would eat them and chop them up and peck them to death. Because what is it? There's some animal that has kids that, have their kids, and then the kids are supposed to get on with it. And if they don't, then they come and just eat them. I don't know
Possibly rats.
Oh, is it rats? Well, then.
Possibly, yeah.
Doesn't surprise me.
No.
Another question, or you can make sure they're male or female by the temperature, can't you? The eggs in incubation, says Mark's Adventures.
No. I think that's a myth.
Is that a fallacy? Is that a fallacy?
I think so. I mean, I've kept them all at the same heat, and I get male and females hatch. So
About 100 degrees for about 4 minutes, and that's perfect,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, exactly right there.
So it's hard to
Sorry.
tell if I'm interrupting anyone.
No,
here.
no, you interrupt whenever you like, Julia.
I'm so sorry. Because I within the reptile, pet reptiles. Sorry, I've got to mute that a second. With the pet reptiles trade, as such, I'm sure they found that if you kept it at a slightly higher temperature, was it females at higher temperature and males at the lower temperature, something like that. I thought it
think-
might be similar with the fowls.
Yeah, I think alligators and crocodiles have something like that. I've been told I'm not allowed alligators or crocodiles, though.
Are you not?
No, I'm not.
It's something in the bath, isn't it? You need your back scratching in the bath, and you're sitting there, and you just think, oh, a little alligator down there having a good nip.
Yeah. Well, I just sort of looked
Yeah.
at Amanda. We had a fox in our garden the other day who attacked one of my chickens,
Oh,
and Amanda managed to run out there with a mop and scare the fox off.
with a mop.
So with a mop. So I'm just wondering if-
back.
exactly like that. Yeah. I'm just wondering if an alligator or crocodile will keep the fox away.
Yeah.
Me and that fox have got a hot date.
Yeah.
You and the foxy hot date.
Yeah, she's
I'm after it.
she's after that fox.
Yeah, you should go and when you turn up and have the date with the fox, you want to wear some nice fur. It'll get it worried. If you're going, whoa, wait a minute, hang on a minute, not sure I like this. Yeah. Pelican brothers fight to the death, apparently.
Apparently.
Apparently. Pelican brothers.
Pelicans.
Yeah.
Not get a pelican.
You're not
Wouldn't
getting a
surprise
pelican.
me.
Oh, she's very Amanda there in the background. We're not having one of them. She knows.
know.
I think she knows you very well. That you'll hear something. You go, oh yeah, we'll have one of those. You go, no, you've had enough. You've got a menagerie of stuff. We have enough trouble.
Yeah.
We have enough trouble with those blooming tomatoes.
Yeah, well, I'd like an emu. Oh, no, she wants an alpaca.
Well, there we are. An alpaca would be all right, wouldn't it? Because they're good guard animals.
They could go and they spit at predators.
Yeah.
Alpacas do.
It's not an emu.
I'm being told I can't have an emu, though. So it's an alpaca. I don't know if you can hear her.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. She's saying they're huge, and emus are huge, and so is an alpaca.
And she's small, did she say?
And she's small, yes.
Yeah. Bless poor old Amanda. I haven't been over to see you for a while. I'm missing some of Amanda's cakes.
You missed a good one the other week.
And the cookies.
And the cookies.
And the
She
cookies.
made me a triple chocolate cake the other day.
A triple chocolate. Wow.
Yeah,
That sounds very nice.
it was lovely. You
And
missed it, though.
What were the cookies?
What were the cookies?
Double chocolate.
Double chocolate. God, blimey. I don't know. It's an outrage. And there you are, promoting good health by growing good food, and you're stuffing yourself with chocolate.
Well,
Just
we
as a
balance it
point
out with
of
the healthy, good
interest,
food.
Hang
Mark's
on.
Adventures says,
Yep. Julia's piping in. Hang on.
I'm so sorry. He says, I just checked. Apparently you can fix the gender by temperature in birds as well as lizards.
You can fix it.
Yeah, as in if you have it in just the right temperature, you can ensure it's going to be all girls or all boys. But if you have it, I suppose, in the medium, you'll get a mix of both.
Can you imagine if you could do that with humans? You go, well, what do you want, love?
I want a little girl.
Right, let's see, that's 32 degrees centigrade for 6 months, and then we have to move it up a little notch for the rest, and then we'll have a little go. And how many, do you want a boy? No. All right, we'll put that one down at frozen.
If only it had worked with humans.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Again,
Alas, 2 boys.
I'm going to query that research, the person who's typed that up on board.
Yeah.
Reason being, I know many professional quail breeders or quail farms who basically have to try and get rid of the males because they end up with too many, because if they could control the temperature and have just females, they would.
Yeah, well, I suppose it depends if it's a hot country or something, and it's the heat that does it. You might not have any control over it unless you've. Oh, it's in the incubator, isn't it?
In an incubator, yeah.
Yeah.
So heat is controlled.
Yeah, that's true. Oh well, there we are. Who knew? Who knew that? Thank you very much, Mr. Suggett.
You are most welcome.
How lovely is that? Do check out the Veg Grower podcast every Sunday. It's coming up in 2 days' time, 2nd of May. So there we are, 6 o'clock UK time. And will the lovely Amanda be appearing in a spangly outfit this week?
She's nodding her head no. She's busy all day.
Oh, what a shame.
She's going exploring.
Where's she exploring?
Where are you exploring, dear?
I can't reveal that.
Can't remember. Don't know.
No, she's not allowed to reveal it because she's an urbexer.
Oh, an urbexer?
Yeah, urban explorer.
Oh, urban explorer. Is that what that means? Oh, okay. She's exploring. Well, I mean, that's just going into Littlehampton, isn't it? That's kind of...
Yeah. She went down a RAC place the other day.
RAC, the Royal
ROC.
ROC, Royal.
Yeah, the
What does that stand
what
for?
are they called? The nuclear listening posts.
Oh,
the
yeah.
nuclear shelters.
Can you hear any nuclear bombs ticking in there? No, nothing.
No.
Been here 40 years listening for that nuclear bomb ticking away. Can't hear it. Anyway, well, good luck with that. Thank you very much. We must move on. We've got some videos to play in. But lovely
It's been fab to hear from both of you.
Yeah, lovely to hear from both of you. And by the way, you left your bag at my house. I hope it's not a ticking bomb. Maybe that's the nuclear thing. It's going. It's making that...
It's the crocodile with the clock in it.
Yeah, there we are. There might be some quail's eggs in there. Who knows?
Who knows?
Take care. Look after yourselves.
Take care.
Nice to hear
Cheers,
from
guys.
both. All the best.
Bye.
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 There we go, the marvellous Richard Suggett, and you can check him out, as I said, in this thing. How lovely!
And the wonderful Amanda.
And the wonderful Amanda, who will not be appearing this week in a sparkly outfit, because she's in her sparkly outfit at a listening post near you. Fantastic. Well, this has been very interesting, isn't it? Let us go to a different video, though. In today's show, we'll head to the video box like this, which is no different from how we head to the video box ordinarily. And we have, it's a toss-up, really. Let's go to Sean James Cameron, who says he has got loop 11, but we had loop 11 last night. Not last night, the night before was loop 11. This must be loop 12 on the London loop. And we do like a bit of the London loop. But here we start with Sean, a bit like, what was his name? Going Through the Brambles. What was it? It's just gone out of my head. He's died fairly recently. Well, more than fairly. Anyway, whoever it was. He's the Explorer. I can't remember his name. Let's just come, you go, oh yeah, I'll do it like this, the brain. And then says, well, give me the name of him. He's under the undergrowth. I'm just having a look round here. And I'm just waiting now. Someone's going to type it up for me because... it's got
Bellamy.
David Bellamy. Thank you very much. Yes, there we are. He starts as David Bellamy going through the undergrowth. Here he is, the lovely Sean James Cameron.
How beautiful, after all that noise of the traffic, to be back by the River Cray and the silence. This is such a beautiful section, and I've noticed that on the river they have like willow walls, and they were telling me back at Lindy Lou's that they have swans on this river, and she can go out and call them at a certain time of day and they'll come up and feed from her hand. So maybe in the future we'll come back, because I want to do some sections in the summer just to see how things have changed, and I'll do a sort of highlight reel of my best places. Right, I can see a sign, something's afoot up here. Like I said, we've had storms. It says there's tree cutting going on. So I'm going to maybe walk out there and see if I can go around it. Well, that's a bit of luck. I just called out and they were on their tea break, so I could continue along the path with care. Now there's a bridge here, and it's always tempting to walk over a bridge, but we must avoid it because we are going straight down, keeping the river to the left of us through another field. Well, it's nice to see the path is being taken care of. They seem to be cutting down some old trees there. Maybe they came down in the recent storm. But you forget about how much work is being done to keep these paths open. It'd be very easy for authorities to forget about them and let them fall into disrepair. Well, it looks like I've come out in the car park, so this must be the sports pavilion on the right. But I'm continuing through the mud on the left hand side here, and I'm going to go over this bridge and just slightly double back on myself a bit. Look at that view. And that field over there in the corner, apparently that's a floodplain field. So when the water does get high, where I'm walking now gets flooded. You can sort of tell by the mud. So this is the floodplain. feels like I'm walking into a dead end. But apparently there's a little gate around here somewhere. Look how beautiful this is. Now the road I'm going up to is the A2, which is the London to Dover road, which is known today as Rochester Way. And it looks like it's taking me up to the actual dual carriageway. So let me keep my wits about me.
And there it is. How marvellous is that? Lovely. And I love that whittle. I can't remember what you called it now, Sean. The wattle things on the river there at the beginning that you showed us. Absolutely fantastic. And imagine feeding the swans and the ducks from your hands. Have you ever fed a swan, lovely Julia? You may need to unmute yourself. What? No, it's not me. What was that?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, my microphone had come out a little bit. I don't know how. I haven't touched it.
There was a crash
Odd.
sound behind me. I don't know what it
There
was.
was. It sounded like it came behind and to your left, but
You're not getting a stereo feed from me, so...
true.
all
It could have
the
been from
lights-
anywhere.
All the lights are on. All the lights are shining nice
Shining
and brightly.
in the backdrop, la 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 la
It was
la.
definitely a sudden crash. I don't know what it was. Anyway.
No. But
Yes.
whilst we were watching that lovely video,
Yes.
I remembered that I took some photographs after doing the little bit of video footage today at the tiny forest.
Oh, you did.
Do we fancy having a little look-ski?
Yeah,
Yes, so there's
here we
the
are.
lovely, very tactile gate on the left there and the board to the right, which I did take another photograph of closer up. We can look at that in a bit.
And there's. Oh, I see. You did it closer up in a different picture. Can we see here the lovely? Oh, yeah, they are quite tiny, aren't they?
They are. And they're, well, even when they're, as they're growing, they're never going to be able to get, well, I suppose a lot of them aren't going to, excuse me, got a lump in my throat. Start again. Not all of them are going to make it to mature tree
Maturity.
status.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
I wonder why they don't.
But even so,
Yeah, I wonder.
they're all quite, where they're all planted very closely together.
Right.
They're going to be slightly stunted anyway, so it will be smaller than. They would be.
I wonder why they didn't plant them. Why they didn't grow the saplings bigger and plant them, when they're about 3 or 4 foot, because
that would fit my thoughts.
So they're a lot more
better.
solid. So you couldn't pull them up once they're in.
They can still be vandalised.
Yeah, well, they can still be vandalised.
Trees are 15 years old get vandalised.
Yes,
readily.
I know, but I think you'd be less likely to, wouldn't you? Whereas these, a couple of kids could just go in there without any nonsense and just pull them straight out.
Yeah,
like
just
that.
stamp on them. They could just stamp on them,
exactly.
which it seems like they kind of have in some cases.
So it seems a lot of expense with that fence and the gate, which you really enjoy the gate, and it just seems bizarre that they didn't put more mature trees in there, because then you get, in people's lifetime they'll see that, whereas those trees, you'll never see the tiny forest happen in your lifetime. And if you're a baby, in 80 years you might have a bit of a few trees there.
No, I think when Joseph, is about, well, he's what?
Yeah,
he's
it's all
coming
right
up
for
for
him.
2. He's heading for 2, so he'll probably be about 17 before they're, at any decent maturity or approaching that. So this one is, I spoke about the little line of an old hedgerow. So there's the elder on the left and the hawthorn on the right.
There's some elder flowers coming up there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Some little elder flowers appearing, and then the hawthorn on the right. So
Excuse me, I had a
there's
sneeze.
the leaves, and you've got some blossom starting up as well on those.
Oh yeah.
But it was so wonderful just to realise that, oh yes, it's a, bless you, elder, hawthorn, elder, hawthorn, elder, hawthorn, elder, and hawthorn, something like that. Quite a number of them.
And here is,
and that's the standard, the stand of them.
The stand, and there's this little pathway that went into the den.
Yeah, there's a couple of different little pathways in that meander around and through. Kind of reminds me of a small stretch of old hedgeline trees from a park near where my parents still live, actually.
Yes.
And I used to be able to climb up one tree at one end of the stand of trees, and then through the branches climb all the way through it and down at the other end of the last tree. Some of the gaps were a little hairy.
Sean James Cameron has just posted up there, the trees are cheaper when they're small, of course, because
Yes.
it makes perfect sense. If you've got land held up by trees that takes 10 years to grow to a certain height, then those trees are going to be more expensive because of that size, especially when you're doing a little, a nationwide project like this. You're going to try and keep the costs down. So we're looking at more hawthorn here from underneath.
It's a shame, but this picture looked better on my phone. But yes, it's just the hawthorn overhanging with the sky as a backdrop. As I looked out because I went in whilst Joseph was running amok, and I was trying to convince him to come home. I stepped inside the little stand of trees.
And took that lovely picture. And so this is the sign here. What is a tiny forest? Welcome to Lancing first tiny forest planted in February 2021. Sit back and enjoy the green surroundings. Sit back and enjoy them over a 80-year period. A tiny forest provides a habitats for wildlife and can attract 400 animal plant species. Yeah, but not for a long time.
I mean, they're going to have a small effect.
Yes,
right
they're going.
away,
I mean, they'll definitely have. There'll be ants and things in there.
Yeah.
They've got this picture up here. What is this they've got here? Ground animals and mushrooms and fungus and blah blah blah. And they've got a deer. I don't think a deer is going to get in through that gate, is it? And bees. Yeah, you probably get some bees. And I don't know what these are. Bunny rabbits, are they?
I can't quite see.
I can't.
Oh yes, it looks like rabbits.
Yeah.
I think if you were going to have a deer in one of these tiny forests, I think what is it? The Steenbok is one of the smallest ones. Oh no, there's the mouse deer, isn't there? Which is not quite as small as a mouse, but tush.
But I guess it's a learning curve for people who are not familiar with trees.
That's right, but that's an interesting thing. I would like to see a bit more diversity in there. It's one thing to have a diversity of tree species and things growing. Depicted on the board, you could see there was a log with some of the fungi and things growing from it, but there is no dead wood lying around in there. So maybe might have to try and get hold of some decayed wood and put it in there to encourage that, because that will inevitably help the trees that are there already.
I think that, and Care for a Jelly Baby. Oh, Care for a Jelly Baby. Sorry.
Care for a Jelly Baby.
So growing a forest takes a long growing a forest takes a long time. That's why ancient forests are so precious, and that's so important to say that, because what you've got there is a token thing, really, with great intentions of what it could be, but like so many innovations, one can't help thinking that in 10, 20 years' time, just as these trees are beginning to reach their early adulthood or their early sort of teenage years in terms of trees, they'll probably have ploughed all that up and put houses there. The way that they're building and infilling left, right and centre, that this little patch of trees will be the first to go. I don't mean to be cynical, but we just know that developers will just, they'll think, well, this ground here is worth a bit. We'll build on it.
Yeah. Paul Rampton is asking, is that near Brooklands Park? No, it's the other side of Lancing, actually just south of the Shoreham Airport runways.
And Red Moon Conjure says, 2 years ago, a charity planted a community orchard on the country park behind my house, and rabbits decimated the saplings in a month because they omitted protective sleeves. Yeah, there's no protective sleeves there, is there?
No, there aren't.
So,
but But then again, the fencing is such that small mammals wouldn't be able to get through it. But then again, the gate, was there any such thing on the gate? They could get through the gate.
Get through the gate. Blimey. Yeah, I mean,
not thoroughly thought through, is it? Really,
it's like one of these big, if it was the local people who just were in charge of doing it themselves, I'm sure it would be organised so much better. But because it's a big national project,
it'd be much more organic.
Somebody has said, for the political benefit, we'll have tiny forests everywhere. It's going to be great. It'll be great for butterflies and this and that and that. That we'll have a deer in there. Put a deer on the picture. There'll be a deer, and there'll be muskrats and skunks and moose and greyhounds and zebedee creatures.
Did you say we have another video?
We did. And the final video tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is from Bernie. It's his second trip to the Crowhurst Church, and where we went. We had a lovely time there, didn't we, Julia, when we went? And we did spend a lot of time, of course, at the yew tree. But let's find out what Bernie is up to.
Wait a sec. Which Crowhurst is it? It's got to be the Sussex one, right?
This is the Sussex one that
that's the younger yew tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I have to say, just before we start, this yew tree is so far to date my most favourite yew tree. I've never felt anything quite like being under that tree. Yes, please, let's watch.
Here it is.
I don't think we're allowed in actual fact. I'm not even going to try the door. I don't want there's people up in the house next to the church here, and I don't want to arouse suspicion. These gravestones could tell a sign, a story or two, I should say. Look at this tree here. This is a magical place. You can almost smell the history. And aerial surveys talking about the ruins of the abbey there show that the dimensions of the buildings here, because I don't know whether they're actually fully built or got further than the foundations, but the dimensions of the groundworks as shown exactly match the dimensions of the abbey that William ordered to be built. Just looking up, there's a bit of rope over there. I don't know what that's for. Yeah, the pheasant and the copse there in the road. Ooh, look. I don't know if you can see that. Let's pan in. The sun, although it's partly obscured by the cloud, look at the light that it's throwing on the stones in that archway. Isn't that lovely? Some geese in the distance. It is so good to be able to get up early in the morning when the sun comes up and be out and about early enough so there aren't people going to work and dog walking and things like that. You're able to stand still and just experience the history and try and imagine what life might have been like back then. And certainly in this churchyard you can see, look at these magnificent trees. Some of them looking a bit sad these days, but what an age they are. What stories they can tell. If only somebody could speak tree, excuse me, and listen to them and write the stories down.
Yeah, there you go. You got to speak tree, Julia.
Peak tree, yeah.
Speak tree. Yeah, fantastic. Interesting. That and Bernie said that we went to the wrong one. We went to the other one, but that's not actually true, is it?
No, as I explained in the comments, we did both. Try again. We went to both Crowhursts just to visit the yew trees and the churches as well. But I think you missed the tree though, Bernie.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did see
here we
a
are.
bit of it, but here's us when we went to visit the Crowhurst tree in East Sussex, and that's us looking at the tree. Here's the lovely Julia. I don't know if I can give you the sound. Can you hear that?
I can't.
There's two. Well, it's sort of split into two, but they've kind of got two trunks together, which is quite remarkable. But these branches, like the other one, like the other Crowhurst yew, they spew out like streamers in a way.
There's a third chain holding another piece over there, actually. Didn't notice that before. Oh wow, look at this piece though. There's a massive chunk of bole missing there.
Wow. Whereas the other one was hollow in one trunk, wasn't it, effectively, and you could go inside. This is sort of got...
It's almost three trunks, actually. There's this one, and there's this one.
Anyway, you can check the video out. But yeah, we did go. We also, curiously, we did go took a walk beside and poked our poked our camera at the chapel there, or whatever it is. I can't think that it's an abbey because the walls aren't thick enough. But whatever, let's leave that contentious thing for a while. The video was up for several years, and then about a year or so ago, I had a letter saying, "Can you take it down?" Because it's just private at the moment. I've made it private so that nobody can find it, because I just thought I'd let some time go and then just quietly put it back up, or not put it back up, just unprivate it, because somebody in the house thought that it was for some reason was in breach of copyright. That's what it was. So I've just let it go. But we did walk up past there and in that whole area. But fascinating and amazing tree, because we'd gone principally to see the tree. We did look at the church a little bit, but our journey was there to look at the tree because we were looking for those ancient yews, weren't we, Julia?
Yes. That was what got me up and out that morning, was the thought of going to visit the ancient trees.
And if you check it out on YouTube, you'll see that there's my recent one at Earnley. We go to the Crowhurst yew in Sussex, and also the other one in Surrey, the one with the door in.
Yeah, that one's a thoroughly interesting one. There was a World War II, no, not World War II. In World War II, one of the Canadian soldiers pulled out a cannonball, Civil War cannonball from within its bowl. They call the inside of the tree. And
it looks like Sean is going to go to the Crowhurst yew tree tomorrow.
Which one? Sussex or Surrey?
Which one? That'd be lovely. I hope the weather is good for you tomorrow. Go early before the crowds get there. But you do like going early, so that's okay. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we have run out of time again. This does happen.
6 minutes overtime.
Oh, 6 minutes overtime. Sorry, we'll charge you more now. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a hoot at the end of another week and an end of another month. We are now into May, and let us hope that we may get out of lockdown soon. I think there's something like 23 counties now, or 23 places or something like that, where they've not had a death at all in the month.
That's good.
So we really could do with getting out of it. So there we go. Anyway,
I just remembered I've just remembered we're going to get all the "May the Force be with you"
Jokes.
linking. Yeah, on in a couple of days. Oh no.
Oh, well, hopefully I don't get any of those because I'm not really into trekking or whatever they call it. What is it?
No,
Star
that's
Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah, there you go. So marvellous stuff.
I look forward to Sean Ford's next video because that'll be the obviously the East Sussex yew tree. Yay.
The East Sussex one, and he's going to talk
That one,
to
to
the
see.
tree and give him some poetry. Poetry.
Yeah. Send it my love, won't you?
See, I see what did a poetry.
Yeah.
Wonder
You
if
didn't
he-
hear me say that last time, did you?
No, I didn't. I missed
You know,
that.
and then you
Yeah.
said it after I'd said it as well.
Oh. Anyway, there we go. That's it. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks to Judith being out there monitoring and making sure everything's all right. Thanks to the lovely Julia for coming in and sorting it all out. To Bernie for his wonderful video. To Dave Ved and his ducks. Sean and his loopy 12. And to Julia for going out on the recce. We hope that we have another report from the lovely Julia in another Vobes show coming up. Will you do another one of those soon?
I shall try. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. That was great. And I will be back again with a video tomorrow. And so on the Bald Explorer channel. Back again on Monday. Who knows? Might be in the new studio. Might not be. Depends. I'm going to paint some walls tomorrow. But there you go. That's it. Hope you've had a lovely Friday. Look after yourselves. Take care. Enjoy yourselves. But from the lovely Julia and I... I've gone to the wrong thing there. From the lovely Julia and I, take care, look after yourselves,
Tatty bye.
and tatty bye.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.